Thanks for joining us again on Healthline today. We're talking falls, and Dr. Frank is with me. We didn't get a chance to talk about the cost of falls. So before we go into the general risks, let's talk about the cost of falls.
So I think that that's a really important point. You know, the financial impact, not to make a bad joke, but of falls on the society is huge. By the year 2020, it's actually estimated that falls is going to cost our society just under $55 billion. So if we're thinking about everything we're talking about with the deficit and where are we going to cut, you know, funding from, and how are we going to get ourselves back on a better economic footing, $55 billion is a huge cost and something we can really make a difference in.
And those are the total costs to society? Is that the $55 billion?
That's the direct and indirect costs, and it's actually calculated in $2007. But still, it's quite an impressive figure.
It is impressive. So let's transition then into the first risk of falls.
So the first risk category that we talk about is your environment. So this is where you are, your place of work, your home, and in your environment, you need to be concerned about anything that may trip you up. Again, not to make a bad joke, but if you have uneven surfaces, if you're stepping up from one surface to another, these are times when we tend to lose our balance and tend to be more prone to trip and fall. If you have throw rugs are a huge one. A lot of us have them around our home. People seem to think that they are attractive, but throw rugs have very poor grip, and people very often tend to slip on them, and that can lead to a fall.
Well, they can even trip on them as well. Even if they've got a good grip, the grip might cause you to trip.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's basically anything in your environment that serves as an obstacle. And not just the environmental obstacles itself, but how you move through that environment. So I don't know about you, but I often walk around at home with bare socks on. It's sometimes comfortable. But socks themselves are a huge risk because they don't have a good surface, and people tend to trip and fall, especially if there's, you know, a little spilled water or whatnot, and they're coming across the floor.
So they're slippery.
Correct. Lighting is another huge issue. We all have light bulbs in our home that, you know, maybe we haven't changed in 10 years, and then another one burns out, and you may have that closet where you can't really see anything in, but, you know, you need to go in there, whatnot, to get stuff to prepare food or stuff to clean up around the house. If you can't see where you're going, if you can't see what you're doing, that's another huge risk for falls. And
people often get up at night to do things like go to the bathroom. So what about light then?
That's another great point. So we do recommend that you have a night light. Okay, we also recommend, even if you're just getting up at night to go to the bathroom, that you take the time to put on appropriate footwear. Okay, or at very least, you know, go barefoot, which is safer than using, for example, socks. And make sure the way is well lit. You know where you're going. There's no clutter in your way, and you have a clear path back to your bed.
So it's our environment that's really a major reason why we have falls and great fall risk. So people need to take care of their environments.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Dr. Frank, and thank you for being with us on Healthline today. Join us again when we continue this very important discussion on falls and the prevention of falls.